It's Saturday morning, everybody. It's a gorgeous Saturday. There's not much wind, and we're hoping for a lot of bluefin tuna today on board the Relentless. Wait, what am I talking about? Here I am at 22nd Street Landing, ready to toast you, but I'm not really here right now because I am on board the Relentless out of H&M Landing in San Diego. However, I decided to pre-tape a morning briefing for you all so I could say good morning to you at least and kind of play a little game with you also. So first of all, you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. So good. All right, it truly is great to be back with you all again, even though I am on board the Relentless, and hopefully all the great folks who joined us are catching some fish. It's an exceptional trip. It's only $450, and we included all the beer, all the beverages. If you needed permits, that was on the house also. We got it all covered, including a really nice feast last night before we took off. Greg Bates made this delicious pulled pork, and we serve that up to everybody. All right, let's do an over and under. And for those of you who are not familiar with that gambling parlance, the over-under is a number that you're going to say the actual number will be over it or under it. So let me just get more specific here. The over and under on our tuna trip is 15 bluefin tuna. So in the comment section, you're going to either put over or under, and we'll see how many of you get it right. So the number is 15. To be over, it would be 16 or more bluefin tuna. To be under, it would be 14 or less bluefin tuna. Pretty darn easy, and I'm hoping that it's over. I'm really hoping that it's over for all the great folks that we have on board with us. So I can cover quite a bit of stuff. Before we go any further, can you do me a favor and hit that like button? Just pound on that like button. It really means a lot to us and helps us so much in the YouTube algorithm and helps us to move up and up and up and up. We're already at 1,100,000 views now, and we just keep climbing upwards, and I owe that all to you. Once again, Martin Padilla, 3 assailants jumped him in Chula Vista, California last Sunday. A lot of you are familiar with this story, but Martin is doing so much better. In fact, we're going to hook up Sunday morning. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to see Martin. Maybe I'll do part of the morning briefing because there'll be a morning briefing and I'll have the latest intel for you because I'll be getting back from the Relentless trip. But maybe I can do it with Martin. It would be nice to share a little bit of time. For sure, we'll get some video with him so you can see for yourself how he's progressing. He was shot 2 times by these 3 men who attacked him, tried to rob him, and he did manage to get a cell phone away from one of these guys. So hopefully the police will be able to use that and figure out who these guys are. That would be wonderful if justice could be done. And so many of you, Mike came by the office on Thursday. Mike's a good friend of mine, Mike Krinkovich, and he fishes a lot of our charters. He'll be on with us next year. He was on the Amigo trip with Martin, and he said, "Is that Martin that was catching all the Dorado on that Amigo trip, that great trip?" And I said, yep. And he goes, "I'm all over his GoFundMe page." So if you'd like to contribute to Martin, he's going to have some tough times. He can't work right now. He's got to recover from the gunshots. You can go to my Facebook page, Friedman Adventures on Facebook, scan down a little bit, find the link that'll take you to Martin's GoFundMe page and help him out. That would mean a lot. No question about it. All right, long-range information. Yesterday we talked to you about Gary Kwan hooking a marlin on a sabiki rig and rod. That is crazy stuff. He subsequently lost the thing, but he really wanted to catch that fish. On the long-range scene, we're getting some pops on big yellowfin tuna, like 200-300 plus pound YFTs. I mean, big, beautiful fish. But one day it's down and one day it's up, and then a few days in a row it's down. It's been like that. It's been a lot of smaller grade yellowfin tuna. Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California, has been reporting from his 11-day trip on board the Royal Star and saying that he's had some Really great action on that smaller grade fish, and also referenced a couple of nice big fat grouper that they've been catching. So it's been darn good. Incidentally, talked about Gary hooking that marlin on a sabiki rig. He had 9 marlin, and he only had 9 because he quit fishing. He could have had 29, he said. Pat Conklin was on that trip. He had a dozen. It was freaking wide open marlin. And while some of you say, I don't want marlin and I don't even want to deal with it, I personally love catching those carp. I think they're a lot of fun. And for a guy like that's new to fishing, that would have to be a dream come true, seeing all those marlin all over the place. All right, up to Ensenada, and the last time we checked down there, Arnie Man was catching some surface iron yellowtail, some nice grade fish, look like 12 to 18 pound fish. Nice fish indeed. Hopefully that's going to continue. A lot of times during this time of the year, it's yo-yo iron, but right now, you can catch them on the surface iron. Hopefully that's going to continue. Arnie Man is stepping up to provide a trip that we're going to raffle off. Those funds will go to Martin also, so we'll be helping him out in addition to all the other stuff that we are doing. Also, our friends at Bluefin Sport Fishing out there on Ponta, they've been heading down the coast to the Soledad Bank down there near Punto Santo Tomas, and they have been coming up with nice lings and reds and bocaccio and all kinds of other bottom critters. So it's been really quite good here recently, and hopefully it's going to continue to head in the right direction. It's looking very good down there. And as we get into the colder water months, Victor from Bluefin points out that those lings will move up into the shallows, and when they do, man, it's game on. It's really good fishing when they get into those lings in that shallow water. December, January, February, great times. Drop an iron down to the bottom, bounce it a couple times, and just feel your rod load up and feel that head shake. Those things are fun to catch and great eating, and that's only going to get better and better and better. Coronado Islands, our friend Sean Hardigan is headed over there as we speak. He's on board the Mission Bell out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. That's if he got enough people to run, and I'm hoping he did. It's been mostly rockfish at the Coronado Islands. A couple of weeks ago, it was really steady, good yellowtail fishing, yo-yo iron, and an 8-ounce torpedo sinker. Or an 8-ounce with bait. So you're either dropper looping with bait or fishing yo-yo iron down deep. But then we had a really, like a 6, 7, 8 degree drop in water temp, and those yellows said, adios, nos vamos a Ensenada o Acapulco. So they took off and went south. They're looking for some warmer water. Too chilly for those little devils. So they took off. Maybe that'll get back on the bite again. Hopefully it'll be today. I'm looking at that very closely, and we've got gorgeous conditions and maybe get a degree or two back in water temperature. And sometimes that's all it takes. So I hope that that's going to be the case. San Clemente Island, out that way, there's a ton of squid, so there's some halibut and sea bass and, the possibility of some other species, decent calico bass fishing, a lot of bonita. Nothing to write home about. Plenty of rockfish if you want to do that in most cases. Catalina Islands had a few sea bass and halibut, a few yellowtail, but mostly wide open bonita. The freelance from Davies, Locker, Newport Beach been doing really well on the bonita at Cat, and that should continue here on this gorgeous, pristine weekend. It's going to be really, really nice. Santa Barbara Island, there's been some yellows up there, and the Channel Islands kicking out. Great rock fishing, including tons of ling cod on board the Aloha Spirit just the other day. They found a hole loaded with LCs, man, and they bit everything. They're iron biters. They'll bite big plastic lures. They really are a lot of fun to catch, and once again, really great eating fish. Great fishing up there out of Santa Barbara for rockfish, and same thing up out of Verges Morro Bay. That has been stupendous fishing, and they're kind of winding down, getting ready to call it a year. So if you want to get up to Verges or any of those other landings, do it now while you still can, while you can load up with some of that great table fare. There's nothing better than fish tacos made from those colorful deep water rockfish in Southern California and Northern Baja. Nothing better at all. It is so darn good. Folks, again, I'm on the Relentless. The over-under is 15. So in the comment section, all you got to do is write over or under 15, and we'll see who gets it right. I'll be curious to see if you're a realist, if you're an optimist, if you're a pessimist, or you really just don't know. You're throwing a dart and seeing what indeed is going to happen. So all those likes you give us are deeply appreciated. We really appreciate that. And Sunday morning at some time, I've got to get Wi-Fi and everything else, but I should be in good shape for you to pop up an interview for you all, and hopefully we'll be able to do that morning briefing nice and early in the morning so I can bring you up to date on the entire San Diego scene, the Relentless. I will be shooting a video on this trip, so I'll have that for you. Maybe by Monday evening. It should be a really extraordinary weekend, and I am totally looking forward to it. So, from 22nd Street Landing, where I am not right now, I'm on board the Relentless out of H&M Landing. I say to you all my thanks and my very, very best, and I hope to see you really, really soon.